Hey everyone, welcome to the E2 Effective Elders podcast. Visit us at e2elders.org and please share this good word with others.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the E2 Effective Elders podcast, and how grateful we are to CDF Capital for their investment in elders across the country and around the world. They are highly valued partners of ours, and today we continue in our focus in 2022 on a good word. And every month is a different word to bring encouragement to people, to build them up. And the month of September, our good word is unity. And to help us unpack unity today is this young gentleman, Chad Tucker, a friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. Welcome, Chad. We're so grateful that you're here with us today.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. It's good to catch up with you, see you again.
Well, and for those who are listening and or watching, Chad grew up here at the Creek, and I had the privilege of seeing him, his brother, his family, just grow in the Lord. And Chad answered a call of God on his life. He was in ministry, had him as a student in seminary. He was on our staff here at the Creek, and the Lord has opened a door for Chad, Liz, their sons, to be in Georgia. And once again, they're flourishing there in a very unique vocational path. Are you enjoying life there?
Oh yeah, it's great. Getting used to the hotter weather. I think it's going to last a little longer. I hear the fall is really great, so looking forward to that. But yeah, love it here. Nice people. Southern hospitality is a real thing. And sometimes it's like, are you really that nice? So anyway, things are going well. We're adjusting, as you know, things take time. But yeah, we're grateful for the opportunity.
Good. Have you found a church home?
Yeah, we have. We're starting to get plugged in. As you mentioned, the Creek's the only place I've known. Those are the first for us. But yeah, we're getting plugged in and slowly making our way. I think the word's out that I've been through seminary and have served some time as a pastor, and I know what that's like. Somebody else to serve.
Very good.
Yeah, we're grateful for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be plugged in quite quickly and effectively. Well, now Chad's going to help us today with this word unity. In that he's going to speak to us and hopefully encourage us to pursue unity in the workplace, unity at work. Chad now is working in a secular vocational path. He's a part of a company in Georgia where they've got about 2,500 individuals. He's got about 24 people on his team. And there's a need for unity always in every workplace. So, Chad, why don't you speak into that topic? How do we foster unity in the workplace?
Yeah, this topic of unity is really near and dear to my heart. A few years ago, my wife was making something and she said, "Hey, what's one word you want me to make?" Kind of a craft type of thing. And I said, unity. I think that unity, this idea of being one, of being together to collaborate, and where it's not about the individual, but about the whole, is near and dear to me. But I think it's near and dear to God. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. And it's something that is really powerful. And I think as believers, it's something that we should continue to strive for and work towards as we are one together. I think about in the workplace. I think about a couple of things as you talked about or asked me to think about unity. I thought about the word synergy right away. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite words, and I think about synergy in the individuals. It's just kind of like my hand, and if I'm going to pack a punch, if I poke you, I can do a little bit of work. But if I bring them all together, and then the sum of the individual is going to do more than the individual parts. So I can pack more of a punch, and that's this idea of working together. And literally, that word synergy means work together. That's the I know you appreciate the words and understand the meanings behind it. So that's literally what it means, is work together, synergy. And I think you won't have synergy unless you have unity, and you can see the power of that. A couple of words that I think come to mind are culture and commitment. So I think at the culture level, what I mean is at the organizational level. And I think for a company or whatever the organization may be, to be able to work together, to have a unified purpose. I think people want to have a purpose. An organization needs to have a purpose. purpose, where it's not just we're just here to make money. We're going to provide some value that the world needs. We're going to have a clear and compelling purpose and vision that we're going to have people to contribute to, and everybody has their parts in that. And they believe they're making a difference, and they get to say, hey, I get to do this. I get to be a part of that, not just got to go to work today. I'm here just to collect a paycheck or whatever it may be, that there is some passion behind what we're doing. And then help people to see how their contribution contributes to what you're trying to pursue. And so I think that those are some things that are really helpful from a vision standpoint. But then also as it trickles down, the big why we do what we do, but also how we do it. I think if you have some alignment around your strategy, as opposed to everybody just kind of does their own thing, again, kind of back to the fist thing, well, you do this, you do this, but if we're all heading in the same direction, I think that if we can use some alignment as to how we go about the things that we do, really helps promote unity, at least at the organizational level.
So you've got culture.
Yeah.
And then what would you say is that second word, community?
I think about commitment. I think about a commitment towards unity, but community falls in there as well. I think I'll use that C word as well, Gary.
Well, commitment. When we just stop and think, you can't have unity unless you have multiplicity of people. You got to have multiple people in that workplace. So I think of community pursuing that purpose together, whatever that purpose is. We're in pursuit of that as a community of staff members, team members, whatever. And we have to be truly committed to that pursuit, and committed to working with and beside one another.
Yep, that's exactly where I'm going, is seeing this commitment. And what I mean by that is this idea of love, and that we love one another well. And with that, you're going to birth a community. And so, hey, I want to commit to you. And I mean that in a work sense, is that I'm making an investment in you, you're making an investment in me, and we're making an investment together back to our purpose. And so we need one another. But I think that as believers, especially that leaders, that we see the dignity of people, that they're made in the image of God, regardless of their beliefs, regardless of who they are. They're made in the image of God. And I think that we have that mindset, that worldview. And so we treat them that way. We treat them with dignity, and we treat them with value. We treat them with respect. I think that we do that in the ways that we honor each other, in the ways we talk of one another, whether in their presence or not in their presence. I think that one component of that, this idea of commitment in a relational way for unity, is you've probably had that in the workplace, as people are talking about somebody else who's not in their presence, and how it can do so in a negative way. That causes division. It may not cause division today, but it will eventually lead to division. And I think that just like Jesus calls us to, is to be peacemakers, not just keep peace, but to make peace. And I think that we do that by honoring each other, and not letting one another talk down of others, especially when they're not around. We should assume the best of one another. I think another component to that, Gary, is showing up for one another. Is even if it's somebody who's not in your area or in your department or on your team, but we're on the bigger team together. Again, going back to that organizational unity, is show up for the things that they're doing. If they need some help, be willing to help out, even if it's not part of your job description. Show up for those things, because it shows, hey, you matter. And what you're doing matters, and I'm for you, and I want to be here. And I think with that, if the corporate, or excuse me, if the organizational sense brings a sense of purpose, like, hey, this is what we're doing, I think this commitment piece in community really brings a sense of belonging. Like, I'm important here. Hey, these are my people. They make me feel valued. So I think as you get commitment, I think as you get a culture for unity, I think that you really do something special. And I think kind of summing that up, I think that if you can, as a leader and as an organization, have people, make them feel like they're part of something special, and hey, these people make me feel special, I think you have really something special there for unity.
And I happen to know who it is that you work for, and I know of that culture that's very high value in that company, to create, protect, foster that culture.
Yes.
What you just described, there are going to be a whole lot of people who are not as fortunate as you to work in a healthy company culture. So what would you say in closing to a Christian who is in more of a toxic work environment? What would you, as a final word of encouragement, say to them?
Yeah. I would say remain faithful to the one who is all for unity and be that difference. You know, you want to see difference, be the difference type of thing. But, you know, God is on our side and God can change hearts. Because ultimately at that level where there is division, perhaps even sinfulness, if we can talk from our worldview, is to be that difference, to be the one who reconciles, to be the one who is a peacemaker and to help bring about harmony within the workplace. And so, and that doesn't matter what your role is. It really doesn't. So starting with prayer and how you're treating those around you, and also to speak into opportunities where you see division, not to fight, no, to actually help bring about unity and health.
Right.
So if you want to see health, be a proponent of health.
Yeah, that's good. And as Christians in the workplace, when Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God," and there's going to be a blessing when we move to make peace, walk across the room, etc. Yeah, if you want to see a difference, be that difference. That's a good word for us. Well, Chad, thank you. You are missed here, and we know that our loss here is the gain where you have gone. So
yeah, well, I
thank the
appreciate
Lord for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we together, you know, advance the kingdom wherever we're at, whatever we're doing, and it's all worth it. And blessings to you, brother, and my pastor. It's good to see and hear from you.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.